What's going on, everybody, and welcome into the Point After with Mitch Kaiser. I am your host, Mitch Kaiser. Today, I am joined by PFF's very own Max Chadwick, a familiar face on this show. Max, how are we doing today? Happy Monday.
I'm doing great, man. I think last time we were on was previewing the quarterfinals, I want to say, of the playoffs. So yeah, man, it's been a long time since then. Yeah, kind of getting to about a month away from the draft right now, so it's kind of getting home stretch right now. It feels like for the draft. So it's gonna be fun to do a little mock draft with you today.
Best time of year, man. That was, I think you were my second ever guest on this show. So that was fun back then. We've come a long way since then. But yeah, no, it's draft season now, or as I like to say, overthinking season, because I just watched a video 20 minutes ago about Dan Orlovsky explaining why Ty Simpson is the best quarterback in this class. And that's the type of week we're already having.
Dude, I'm with you. I don't agree with Dan on that. Obviously, I do respect his opinions. I think he knows a lot. But, that's one where I can't really get behind on that. I think it's pretty clearly Mendoza and then everyone else in this quarterback class.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. So let's, without further ado, let's get into it now. And we're going to get going on this mock draft. We are not going to be taking Ty Simpson first overall to the Raiders. Spoil that. I will be doing odds. Max will get evens on this mock draft. Just doing a first round mock. Last week we did 2 rounds. That took a while. We're just going to do a mock draft, try to keep this under an hour for you guys today. All right, so I've got the PFF mock draft simulator on board here. I will be taking odd numbers. Max is going to go evens. Let's enter the draft here. And first pick on the clock, Las Vegas Raiders. Like I said, Fernando Mendoza over Ty Simpson. I do believe he is the best quarterback in this class. I do think Orlovsky made some good points. However, the one thing I want to say, I want to be careful of people overthinking this part. The one thing Orlovsky talked about was what each quarterback was asked to do. He mentioned, and he used the word what each of them were asked to do on the field. Just because Mendoza wasn't necessarily asked to do the same things as Ty Simpson doesn't mean he can't do them. Remind you that he had his team up 20 in just about every game, including the game against Ty Simpson. So all the NFL throws that Dan Orlovsky was talking about was when Ty Simpson was playing from behind with no run game, having to make these throws. And I'm not saying they were not impressive throws. They, of course, were. And I do think Ty Simpson's an underrated athlete and can make plays on the run. I just think that's a weak argument if that's the only take and be what they were asked to do when Mendoza. We've seen him deliver strikes many times. We've seen his accuracy. We've seen the arm talent. Sorry, not to get off on a Mendoza versus Simpson tangent. I felt the need to say that because I saw Orlovsky's video this morning and I just wanted to spend a little time on it.
Yeah, I get it, considering Indiana's offense is a little RPO heavy. So I do understand that side of it, but I'm with you. I think Mendoza's proven that he's an NFL quarterback and he's capable of making NFL throws, and Simpson I think just needs a little more seasoning before he could be a franchise quarterback. I think Mendoza's a little bit further along in his development right there. I'm not taking Ty Simpson here at number 2 to the to New York Jets, even though I think they need a quarterback even with Geno Smith going in there. I don't think there's a receiver worth taking here at number 2 either. I do think they're going to go with a pass rusher. Now, I personally would not do this, but I think the most likely pick is Arvell Reese, the linebacker / edge rusher, whatever you want to call him, out of Ohio State. Now, I tend to think he's more of a linebacker than an edge rusher, but I do think that the Jets, he's probably the favorite to be the number 2 overall pick here. So I would go with David Bailey here, the Texas Tech edge rusher. I don't think David Bailey will be the pick, though, so I'm going to go with Arvell Reese as the pick that I think the Jets will actually make in the draft in April.
All right, I like it. No, I'm right there with you. So your Bailey for me is Ruben Bain. So I would go with Bain, but Bailey and Bain, I'm happy. You're splitting hairs there, and I think each of them are going to be great pass rushers in the NFL. I think each of them are better than Arvell Reese in terms of the pass rushing ability. So what you're going to get at the next level, I'm totally with you. However, we both expect this pick to be the Arvell Reese on draft night. So, all right, moving on. I am now up with the Arizona Cardinals now. So this pick has been moving around a little bit, and it's kind of up in the air now because they have a lot of positions of need. I'm not ready to go quarterback there. We've heard some Jeremiah Love talk. I know they've got some running backs still. I know they re-signed
James Conner.
Yeah, they brought back Connor, who's not really like a threat, like a huge threat at this rate.
Yeah, they got Tyler Algier coming in there too, and Trey Benson still. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be Jeremiah Love either. Honestly, it could be though.
I've been looking at Mauanoa. I know this has been the popular pick for weeks now. I'm gonna keep with this because they need a right tackle, and I know it's not a sexy pick. But the Cardinals don't need to get sexy right now. They just need to get stability on the offensive line for whoever their starting quarterback's going to be, because you're not worried about that. You're not worried about quarterback for next season. You're worried about for the future seasons. And I think you just got to rebuild that O-line right now and get as much talent in the building as you can.
Yeah, I agree with you. You got to start left tackle in Paris Johnson, but the right tackle is completely up in the air. They brought in Elijah Wilkinson, but I don't know if he's a starting caliber player. They need a right tackle really badly. I think Francis Mauigoa could be the pick on draft night. Titans here, Jeremiah Love is another guy that a lot of people are talking about. For Tennessee, I'm not going to do that. I'm probably going to go instead to look at the defensive line and take an edge rusher here. I'm going to go with David Bailey, the edge rusher out of Texas Tech. I do think Ruben Bain's arm length will push him below David Bailey on draft night, even though I do think they're neck and neck, honestly. But I think Bailey is the best pure pass rusher in this draft. I think he's led the nation in pass rush grade in each of the last 2 years at Stanford and at Miami. He's a special pass rusher. The explosiveness, the bend, the get off, all the moves he could throw out tackles to, all the counter moves. Yeah, I think David Bailey is the best pass rusher in this class, and I do think Tennessee at number 4 overall. Jeremiah Love is an option, but I do think David Bailey they might go with over a running back here. And that's probably what I would do too. I don't think Tennessee is a running back away from being a really good football team, so I don't love Jeremiah Love's landing spot there. I'd much rather take a guy like David Bailey to boost up the defensive line.
No, I love it. I'm with you in the not taking a running back that early pick. Obviously, Jeremiah Love's one of one. He's phenomenal, but I'm with you. I don't know how much of a needle mover it is for the Tennessee Titans at this current moment. I think Bailey's an exceptional player. I mean, we talked about it last summer when we heard he was transferred from Stanford to Texas Tech, and we talked about how if you hadn't been watching this guy back in the old Pac-12, it's like, this guy's crazy. His pass rush win rate was first in the country for the last 2 seasons or something like that. And the speed he possesses is just, it's ridiculous, man. And I'm with you. I don't think this will be the pick, but that is what I would do here if I were the Tennessee Titans. One of him or Bain. That would be my guy there. All right. Now, I'm back up on the clock here. I have picked a couple different players for the Giants now. I've mocked him Caleb Downs a couple times. I've mocked him Sonny Styles a couple times. I think I'm leaning Styles in this one because I know it's a linebacker, but I just think he's a floor raiser on the defense. And I think there's not a world where Sonny Styles is not a Pro Bowler someday. And I think he can balance out that defense for the Giants where I would want to add Caleb Downs. However, I don't think Downs will go 5th. I think they're going to worry about safeties, and I know they just got Holland. They've got some new weapons in the secondary. They're kind of revamping it. I don't think they're ready for Caleb Downs at 5, but Styles, I think they could be convinced.
Yeah, I would go down. I would personally go Downs, but I'm with you. I think Styles will go above him, and I think for a Giants team that they did bring in Tremaine Edmonds at linebacker, but they needed another starter alongside him. John Harbaugh has said before how important linebacker is to him. I think it's really setting up Sonny Styles here at number 5 overall. And I think you could argue it's the Giants' biggest need right now. Maybe wide receiver is the other one too. But I do think Sonny Styles I think he will be the pick for the Giants on draft night.
Their starting linebacker this past season, Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles, was a 47.7 PFF grade.
Yeah, not great.
So we can definitely raise that up for Sonny Styles.
Yeah, not great. All right, I have the Cleveland Browns here. I am going to go with Carnell Tate, the wide receiver out of Ohio State, keeping the Ohio State train going here.
Low moving costs.
Yeah, low moving costs, exactly. I think the Browns they need receivers and offensive linemen, and I think I had the Browns pick later on in the first round too. I'll probably be targeting a tackle there. With Mauigoa off the board in terms of what we think will happen in the draft, I don't think Spencer Fano will be go this high. Maybe Monroe Freeling. He's been going a lot higher in mocks recently too, but
real quick on Freeling, because that's what I keep seeing the pick is for Cleveland. And it's like, I don't have that guy 6th on my board or on my draft board, but it sounds all the camps out of Cleveland sound like they're taking Monroe Freeling. Thoughts on that?
I don't love it. I think he's more of a
Seems
project.
a bit high.
Yeah, it's very high. He's more like I'd be okay with it at 24 where they're picking next. He's not lasting that high. I think he's going to go somewhere in the top 15 at this rate. I get it. He's the most athletic tackle in the draft. He's a really good pass blocker. He's a little raw in the run game, but to be fair, he was also like a new starter. Like he doesn't have a lot of experience either. So as you develop him, he could be a really good player considering how freaky his tools are. I just personally would not take that number 6 overall. I would take a more surefire bet like if you want to tackle like a Spencer Fano, even a Caden Proctor, in my opinion, or a wide receiver like Carnell Tate or a Mekhi Lemon or even a Jordan Tyson too. So, yeah, I think I'd rather do that. I think Carnell Tate will be the first receiver taken. Again, this is kind of what I think will happen. So I'm going to take him here to the Browns.
I like that pick. I think that's what the Browns should do. If I were drafting them, I wouldn't overthink it. I agree with you. I think Tate is my wide receiver too. However, I think he will be the first draft one selected. So that's kind of where I'm at with Carnell Tate. All right, I'm back on the clock now with the Washington Commanders at 7. Other people will probably take Love here because he's just such a weapon in the open field. But I think they need a true tone center on the defensive line, and that's why I'm going Ruben Bain Jr. I think they need a difference maker in the pass rush, and they truly do not have an edge like that right now as currently constructed. Got to go Ruben Bain if you're the Commanders. I know they're probably going to want the running back, the flashy pick. I would challenge them to not take Love that high. But it sounds like I know they got Krosky Merritt still. It sounds like they might be going Jordan or Jeremiah Love. However, I would take Bain.
I get it. I mean, I think either way you would have gone there. I get it. I do think Ruben Bain will transform the defensive line, and they need that right now. But yeah, I get the Jeremiah Love talk too because he might be the best player in the draft. So I get it for them. Then now Jeremiah Love at 8 would have made a lot of sense, but they did sign Travis Etienne. They still have Alvin Kamara too. So I don't know if they're really going to be in the Jeremiah Love sweepstakes right now. So this is tough because I don't want to have Jeremiah fall too far, and I don't know if Kansas City's going to take him either with Kenneth Walker there now too. But the problem is, like, I just don't. I mean, the resources they invested in Travis Etienne, and plus you still have this is Etienne's contract. Yeah, you still have Alvin Kamara. I'm going to see Etienne's contract. I mean, he did sign a 4-year, $52 million. I mean, that's pretty decent money. Like, so that's not like you're signing him and just drafting Jeremiah. If you draft Jeremiah Love, he's your number 1 running back, and I don't think you're going to pay Travis Etienne $14 million a year to be your number 2 running back, right? So. I'm not going to take Jeremiah Love here, even though I do think that would have been a pick that you've seen a lot of mock drafts before free agency. So here for the Saints, it's pretty fascinating because I think you do have some interesting ways you can go here.
Yeah, I may have broken the board for the rest of the draft by not taking Love on the last pick.
Yeah, I was kind of debating a few things.
I don't take running backs that high, though, Max. You know me. You know where I stand on running backs.
I know. I'm just like... It's tough because I think like I could go Mekhi Lemon here. That might be a little earlier than I think he will go, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Mekhi Lemon, the wideout out of USC.
Yeah,
I think he's
need a receiver.
Yeah, he's personally my number 1 receiver in the draft. I think he's the best receiver in college football this past year. And I think I get the size concerns, but he plays so much bigger than that. And I think, guys like Jackson Smith and Jigba, who just signed a massive, record-setting contract today at wide receiver, he's proven that those kinds of guys can win in the NFL and win big. And I'm not saying Mekhi Lemon will be that good in the league, but I do think he could be a really, really good, like Amon-Ra St. Brown type of player. And the Saints just need to surround Tyler Shuck with more weapons outside of Chris Olave right now. So I'll go with Mekhi Lemon. Again, maybe a little bit earlier than he actually goes in the draft, but I do think he's a really, really talented player, and the Saints need that right now.
No, I like it. I think I could definitely see him going receiver. I think they definitely need to get some in there to help Tyler Shuck and take pressure off Chris Olave on the other side. Okay. How much money? So I know the Chiefs just signed Kenneth Walker. What was that official contract? Because there's no way Jeremiah Love will be on the board for the Bengals. Like, that's out of the question.
It was 3 years, $43 million. So that's a lot. I don't think the Chiefs are taking a running back.
Yeah,
I don't think they would sign Kenneth Walker if Jeremiah Love was even in the cards for them.
they're probably
So
going to go Mansour Delane because
yeah,
they need a corner specifically because they just traded their best corner to the Rams and Trent McDuffie.
honestly, but it's even a debate for me here with Caleb Downs on the board for Cincinnati. I'm going to go with Jeremiah Love because I do think Chase Brown's not keeping you from drafting Jeremiah Love.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the Travis Etienne contract and the Kenneth Walker contract would keep you from drafting Jeremiah Love at 8 or 9. I don't think Chase Brown will keep you from drafting here at 10. So I know the Bengals, have much bigger needs on the defensive side of the ball, but at the end of the day, you have a talent like Jeremiah Love staring you in the face right here. So
Yeah.
I mean, I would take him here and have Caleb Downs just fall one spot.
If he fall, yeah, we're sprinting. The Dolphins will be sprinting in the card if this happens. But yeah, if the Bengals don't take Jeremiah Love and he's sitting there, I think the entire city would riot. So like Jeremiah Love, I would love for you to come to the Bengals. Of course, I would probably buy a jersey. It'd be amazing. But I'm kind of with you. I don't think he will fall there on draft night. I definitely think the Bengals could use Caleb Downs and they need his services more in the secondary, but I'm with you. The blue chip talent prospect, you can't pass up Jeremiah Love. Like we said, I don't think he will fall to 10 on draft night, but in this iteration, the Bengals are coming out as first round winners, truly. So,
yeah.
Caleb Downs to the Dolphins, again, not much analysis needed there. They need all the help they can get in their secondary. They need a floor raiser. Caleb Downs is a future Pro Bowler. Max and I believe he's a superstar just waiting to happen. And don't overthink safeties. Caleb Downs is as good as it gets.
No, that Dolphins secondary is probably the worst in football right now. So if you can get the best defensive back in the draft by a mile, in my opinion, to Caleb Downs, that is a dream pick. And I think Miami should keep adding to that defense, that secondary in the second and third round, even at corner too. Because it really, if you look at their depth chart, their receiving core is horrendous. It's probably the worst in the league, and that secondary is horrendous right now. So everything. I think you take a receiver, take a safety, take a corner, anything. Miami needs help.
Bengals and Dolphins fans would be loving us for those two picks if that's who they end up. So
I debated Caleb Downs at 10 for Cincinnati because I think since Jesse Bates left, they've been they've literally had the lowest rated group of safeties in the league since he left. So I'm with you, man. All right, Dallas here at number 12.
Are you going to take Dalton's guy?
Who is Dalton's guy? I'm trying to think right now.
Top one on the board.
No, see, I get it. I would maybe me personally, I'd do it. I think he's going lower. I think he's going outside the top 15, probably top 20 though. No, probably what I'm going to do here. Mansour Delane's off the board. I'm just going to take Jermon McCoy, corner out of Tennessee. I get the injury concerns are there, and I get it. But I just think, other than that, man, he had really good tape in 2024. They need help at corner. I mean, that secondary, like Miami, is really rough. So I would take Jermon McCoy here. Thieneman is an option. I'm not saying he's too far off from where I was thinking there, but I don't think Thieneman will go this high in the draft just yet.
Yeah. I love McCoy. His 2024 tape was better than Delane's 2025 tape, in my opinion. And I think had he played the full season healthy, he would probably be the first corner drafted.
I agree with that. Yeah, I would. Just the injury, considering now. I mean, even
I
think he didn't work out at the combine. It happened last January.
It's risky, yeah.
So
that's a long
you gotta check out the medicals for him for sure. But he's a really talented player, though. He's worth the top 15 pick if the medicals check out.
Yep. All right, pick 13. I'm on the clock with the Rams. You already know where I'm going with this pick. I've been mocking this for weeks. I think he's the best wide receiver in the draft class. I think he's going to be a superstar receiver in the league for a long time. And I think he's an absolute luxury pick for the Rams because even if he doesn't play a single snap for you, you can still probably win the Super Bowl next year with the receiving core you already have. And if you get anything out of Tyson with learning from Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, you might have the best receiving core in the NFL in a couple years. So, I love it. Who knows what the long-term plan is with Stafford. Again, I imagine they're going to get a quarterback in there at some point to kind of, learn from him and, set up the next succession plan, whatever. But any receiving core that has Puka and Jordan Tyson for the long term, I mean, that's just disgusting. So I'm all in. I think that would be a great pick because that's the team who has the least amount of needs in the NFL, in my opinion. So that's where I'm taking Jordan Tyson, and I'm not as concerned about the medicals as others are.
Yeah, the best teams draft for 2 or 3 years from now, which is what this pick would be. Because I think Puka Nacua is going to get probably very soon a new record-setting contract, like $45 million a year or something like that. But Devontae Adams is in his last year of his deal. So, and after that, I mean, the receiver room is really thin after those two. So I'm with you, man. I think the receiver is not a huge need because the Rams don't have any huge needs considering they might have the best roster in football right now. But I do think it is a need. And so it's either him or I would consider Spencer Fano there too.
Yeah.
But it's one of those two players. I'm completely with you. And I think, like I said before, I mean, the best teams draft for 2 or 3 years from now, not for this year. And I think that's what a pick like Jordan Tyson would be for LA.
Yep. I like it. Ravens.
I will be taking... Oh, man. Because
I know who I want them to take.
I'm between two guys at the same position. Oh, man. You know what? I don't know if I've done this before. I'm going to take Spencer Fano with the idea of he's going to play guard for them. I
have heard that he is potentially moving to the interior.
His arm length was actually longer at his pro day than it was at the combine because the combine just screwed up the arm length for whatever reason. I was considering either him or Venga Ioane because they really badly need help on the interior with Central Linderbaum gone, and I don't think either of them are going to play center, so they still have a need at center. But they have a need at guard regardless, and I think Fano can play guard and be a really damn good one, and I think he's a better prospect than Venga Ioane. So even though Ioane is a true guard and Fano will have to learn a new position, I do think it could be a really damn good one. So I think the Ravens here, I don't think I've seen this done before, but I'm going to take Spencer Fano here to the Ravens.
I like it. Yeah, no, I still think Fano is a topper. I see him kind of falling on some boards, and I think he's phenomenal. I think he's going to be a great talent. Even if he moving into guard, I just think the talent is too good there to keep falling that low. So I'm with you. I would like that pick for the Ravens, kind of shorten up that interior. All right, I am now up for the Trevor's Tampa Bay Buccaneers here. I'm going to take a player that I know he likes, who I'm also a fan of. This guy is an older prospect, but he's a day one starter, ready to go. I believe he's going to be 26 on draft night. That is Akeem Mesidor, 92 PFF grade, one of the best edge rushers in the class. They need help on the defensive line. I know this is probably not a high ceiling type of player, but I think he's almost has one of the highest floors in the draft class. I don't know if he will go that high. My other pick was C.J. Allen for Georgia because they need linebacker help. They did get Anzalone, but obviously two different way-style linebackers. But I like Mesidor here because I mocked him to the Ravens last week, so drop him one spot here. Another team who desperately needs edge help.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think I'm with over C.J. Allen. C.J. Allen feels like more like a late first-round pick than top 15 one. And I think Mesidor will probably be a top 20-ish pick. Maybe Keldrick Falk, if you want to go for realism, he could be a guy too. But I'm either him or Mesidor. I think would have been a good pick for Tampa Bay because I think they do need help on the defensive line. Linebacker's probably their biggest need, but I'm with you.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a linebacker worth taking outside of
You
Styles.
shouldn't force it. If Sonny's which Sonny won't be there, so I wouldn't get your hopes up, Tampa. But if for some reason he was there at 15, that's like the dream send. But
oh yeah, it would have been dream he or Arvo Reese. But after that, it's like
don't force a linebacker
also,
at 15.
It's a phenomenal. It's maybe the best linebacker class I can remember. So you can get a really good one on day 2 of the draft too for Tampa Bay.
My guy Jake Golday.
Yeah, exactly. Jake Golday. I mean, there's a lot. Jacob Rodriguez too. So yeah, I think this is a class where you don't need to force it at 15. Yeah. All right. So the Jets, who we took Arvo Reese earlier for
Dalton's Jets back on the
for
clock.
New York. Yeah. So for New York, I'm probably going to be looking more towards the offensive side of the ball, I believe, because we took an edge linebacker / edge rusher already. I'm not taking Ty Simpson here, even though I do think it's an option for them. Jordan Tyson's now off the board. Oof.
Want me wide receivers?
I'm trying to look at the receiver class. Man, do I reach for an Omar Cooper here?
I haven't seen him this high yet, but I don't hate it. I like the player.
I just don't know if they're going to double up on defense. So I personally have Denzel Boston higher on my board, but I think at this point, Cooper's past him for most people, and I think he might go over him on draft night.
Okay.
So if we're going for realism, I'll take Omar Cooper Jr. It's a little bit of a reach for me.
I think he's a good player, though, man. I think when you like the player, I don't know if it's ever a reach. I think he just when you identify your guy, go get him.
Yeah, so I think I'll take him here. I don't know if he's going this high. He's probably more of a late first round guy, but the receiver class dried up. I mean, if all three of the top guys are gone for New York, I mean, they could reach for a player like Cooper.
Yeah,
I personally would have gone Boston. I think Boston's actually. I would put him in that top three group with the other three and make it a top four. But Cooper, like I said, if we're going for realism's sake, I think Cooper is going to go above Boston on draft night.
Okay, I like it. All right, Max, with this pick, I am taking a tackle that you and I are very high on, who the rest of the consensus, maybe not as much. Ooh. That is Caden Proctor from the Alabama Crimson Tide. This is a dancing bear, man. This guy is built different, a phenomenal athlete, 6'7", 365 pounds. He has improved every season he was at Alabama. Look at the numbers. Look at the pass blocking. This guy has got what it takes. He's got the physical traits. He's got the footwork. He just needs to develop more. But look at his size, 6'7", 366, and he's not even 21 yet. He's a true junior. Could you imagine him and Penei Sewell as your left and right tackle? Sign me up for that. I'm all in. I don't think he will go that high, but you and I are higher on Proctor than most. Tell us why you like him so much as well.
I love him, man. I think if he loses a little bit of weight, he could be even better than what he is. I just think Alabama, for whatever reason, they just balloon their guys up way too much. I think Caden Proctor is a guy that, again, gets down to 340. He could be even a better mover than what he is right now. And like you said, he was dominant this year as a run blocker and as a pass blocker. So I would put him in the grouping with Spencer Fano and Francis Mauigoa. I think he's certainly just as good as any of those guys. I would put him above Monroe Freeling. I mean, if you're going for realism's sake, Freeling is probably the pick here. But I do think that Caden Proctor, I mean, also he's a natural fit at left tackle now with Penei playing right tackle. So that's what I would do personally, too. I'm with you. I would take Caden Proctor and not think twice about it. But in terms of what actually might happen, it sounds like Monroe Freeling might have passed him up on the big board, but we'll see.
Yeah, and we'll see. And it's we can look at Freeling. Not that the grades are everything. Obviously, the advanced metrics all favor Proctor versus Freeling, but like that's kind of like everyone always says offensive line tape is the hardest to grade, hardest to judge, and that's why you get the most varying opinions. So if someone else sees something they like, I get it. But you and I have liked Proctor for a couple years now, so I think that could form the best tackle duo in the NFL in a couple years. So
I'm with you, man. And also, like, we keep saying, like, oh, it sounds like he's going to go higher. Like, that's just based off, like, what we see from consensus and all that. Like, teams are obviously different from each other. So, like, one team could have a player higher than we even know. And, like, I remember the Patriots taking Cole Strange in the first round. It came out of nowhere. So, it just, every team's got their own process, and they they stick to it. All right, for the Vikings, I'm going to take Dylan Thieneman. This is around the range where I think he will go in the draft. I don't know about top 10 or top 15. So I'm going to take Dylan Thieneman here. I think he's arguably the best safety in college football this past year. He's been so good over his career at Purdue and at Oregon, and playing a variety of different roles in either of those defenses, whether it be as a single high robber or a single high safety, as a center fielder. Can play more in the box too. Really good tackler. He's a really good athlete. He's a great ball hawk. I just think for a Minnesota defense that needs help in that secondary, especially at safety.
Hey, he's coming home too. Or wait, no, Coy Parrish. Sorry. Coy.
Oh, I was going to say, Coy Parrish. Yeah,
the other white safety.
That would have been a great pick for next year. But
confused the two. Yeah,
Harrison Smith is not getting any younger, and you get another safety is really good in Dylan Thieneman. So this is a team that I really could see Dylan Thieneman playing for next year.
I love this pick, man, because last week I mocked them Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, so either safety is a perfect pick here. I agree. They need a Harrison Smith replacement. So, all right, I'm back on the clock now, 19, Carolina Panthers. So before I make this pick, I want to give context that I'm going with a tight end here because this pick is staring me in the face, and I think this would be the pick on draft night. I have Eli Stowers as my tight end one. I think that guy's better than Kenyon Sadiq. I think his production's way better. I think the numbers he put up in college were better. I think you flip on the tape, he's just a better athlete, better pass catcher, makes better plays in the open field. However, all the noise, all the tests, all the athleticism scores circling around Kenyon Sadiq, and all the hype is around Sadiq. He's going to be tight end one on the consensus. He would be my tight end too. I don't think Sadiq's bad. It's not to say that. I just think in 5 years, we're going to look at Stowers as the way better tight end in the NFL. Sadiq is more of the blocker, stronger, better built, more like an actual tight end in the NFL. So I know that is kind of Stowers' weakness right now. He's got to put on weight. This is a fine pick. I'm not mad about the pick. I would take Eli Stowers if I'm drafting a tight end first here, but I'm not mad with the Panthers taking Kenyon Sadiq. I do think he helps Bryce Young and is exactly what they need.
Yeah, I'm with it. I have Sadiq over Stowers, but I think it is closer than people think, honestly. Yeah, I think Stowers is probably going to go in the second round. I'd be surprised if he goes in the first round. Sadiq is going to go probably top 20. So I think for realism's sake, I think it's probably the right call there to make Sadiq the pick. And back-to-back Oregon players, too.
Yeah, there we go, yeah.
All right, Dallas here at 20.
Back with Cowboys, yep.
Yeah, so we had, we have Jermon McCoy go at 12. So here for Dallas.
Staying on the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, I probably will. I just think they just need so much help on that side. They have Quinton Williams, so I don't know if I'm going to take. I know Osa Odigizua is gone, but they have Kenny Clark there too. What I'm probably going to do here is I'm going to take C.J. Allen, the linebacker out of Georgia. Again, a little higher than I probably would take him, but I think he's a really good run defender. Got to get a little better in coverage, but Dallas just needs help at linebacker so badly right now. So I'll take C.J. Allen because I think they kind of short up their edge need by getting Rashawn Gary in there with Donovan Ezraku coming off a pretty good rookie year.
Ezraku had a good rookie. I was going to say that.
I don't think it's going to be edge. I usually took an edge with one of these 2 first-round picks. I don't think it's going to be an edge anymore. They still need help at linebacker. They still need help at D-tackle a little bit too, and especially help at corner, but we already got a corner. So I'll take C.J. Allen as the linebacker from Georgia.
I like it. All right, I'm back up on the clock with the Steelers. This pick stared me in the face last week. Same thing, Vavega Ioane. They have a wide hole at left guard right now. That's a perfect pick. In-state player, Penn State player. Ioane is the best guard, best interior lineman in this draft class by far. It's unless Fano turns to a guard, then it's a little competition there. But in terms of just listed guards, Ioane takes the cake, not even close. So that would be a perfect Steelers pick. I am not forcing Ty Simpson, unlike a lot of Steelers fans or other drafters right now. I don't think they should. I think that's how you just redo Kenny Pickett experience all over again. I would focus on the interior O-line in this pick.
I get it. I would have considered tackle, too, with Freeling still there. But, yeah, I get it, because guard is kind of a need for Pittsburgh, too. So, yeah, I don't hate that pick at all. Actually, I think I've seen that too often, but I don't hate that at all for Pittsburgh, because I think it does fit a need. With Spencer Anderson kind of just being an okay player for them. And then Mason McCormick, I think, is a pretty good guard. But other than that, yeah, I think it's a pretty good pick. Kind of screwed me here with the Chargers, because that's exactly what I was going to take here.
Harbaugh's probably been eyeing Vega for months.
Oh my god, yeah, and I don't think he gets there on draft night, so he probably has to go somewhere else anyways. But yeah, guard is definitely an option for them. I promise I don't think Freeling is a guard, so I don't think I'm going to take him here. And I obviously do not need a tackle.
Pregnon?
I like Pregnon a lot. Well, what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to take a guy that I think Jim Harbaugh will like a lot too, and Keldrick Faulk, the edge rusher out of Auburn. I think he's a really talented player.
He's a big project.
He's a project, yeah. I think he's maybe the best run defending edge in the class. The pass rushing is a work in progress. I think he's been 150th in pass rush win rate each of the last 2 years, which obviously is not good enough. But he's toolsy, really good run defender. Chargers need help at edge. I think he will be a top 20 pick in the draft, even though I'm not going to agree with it. I think he's more of a day 2 player. But in terms of a predictive mock draft, I do think he's going to go somewhere in this range. So I'll take him here to the Chargers.
I like it. All right, so funny enough, Howie Roseman's on the clock with a Georgia Bulldog as the top available prospect. However, it's a left tackle, and they obviously have Mailata.
Well, I think I think you can still take him. I don't hate the
Yeah,
pick.
like they're looking towards the future. However,
Lane Johnson's
Freeling falling to the Browns would be like, that's probably what would happen, but it wouldn't be at 24. It would probably be at 6, right?
Yeah, I think you can take Freeling if you want to, because Lane Johnson's 36 years old and all the injuries, and I think you can. And they've always been a team.
It's a total Eagles pick too, a luxury O-line pick.
They always they're another team that always drafts for the future on the offensive line, not for the present. I think you can do it here.
I'm doing it then.
All right, go ahead. Yeah,
he's the best available player. We know Roseman loves drafting Georgia players. We know it's been the pipeline of Bulldogs coming in. We know the system they have created on the offensive line and the development they do there. I agree. Like Lane Johnson, age 36. I don't think Freeling will fall there if we're trying to be realistic here. He could end up on the Browns somewhere or another, but it probably wouldn't be at 24. If he's there for the Eagles at 23, though, I'm with you. Like it's almost a luxury pick.
Yeah, and for a team, I know Jeff Stoutland, their legendary offensive line coach, is no longer there, so it's kind of different now. But they've proven in the past of being able to develop freak athletes into great, Jordan Mailata had never played football before.
Rugby player.
Yeah, he's a rugby player and turned into a superstar left tackle. So, again, Jeff Stoutland, the offensive line coach, who's maybe the greatest O-line coach ever, is no longer there. So it changes the equation a little bit. But I think Freeling would be great for him to learn behind Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata and not have the pressure of starting immediately in Philadelphia. So I think that'd be good for him.
For sure.
There. Cleveland here at 24. I'm going to stick at tackle, and I'm going to take Caleb Lomu, the left tackle out of Utah. I think this is probably exactly where his range will be, honestly. So really good pass blocker. Got to get a little bit better in the run game, but he is a smooth mover, man, and I think he could be a starting left tackle in the NFL. And again, Cleveland needs it, and they already took a receiver already in Carnell Tate. You take a tackle here in Caleb Lomu. That's probably the ideal first round for the Browns.
Nice. Yeah, coming out of the first round on the Browns, you need wide receiver and tackle, like whatever order you can flip them. I would do the wide receiver first, like you said, and then focus on tackle, but it sounds like it may be the other way around on draft night. So.
Yeah.
All right. 25, Chicago Bears, I'm on the clock. This pick makes too much sense. I've mocked it in 3 straight mocks. Caden McDonald, defensive tackle from the Ohio State Buckeyes, going to the Chicago Bears. That's just a high floor player coming into the defensive line. I think the Bears are going for a Super Bowl. I told you my narrative, Max. I think Caleb Williams is leading them to the at least the NFC Championship game. We'll see what happens with the Rams. That's the pick right now. But Caden McDonald helps their defense for sure. They shored up the offensive line last year. They spent all their resources putting in money in the offensive line. Now they got to do it on the other side of the ball. Get that defensive line going, become a strength again. Caden McDonald certainly helps that, and he's a high-floor player, helps the guys around him. Not much of a pass rusher, not going to put up gaudy numbers or sack totals, but he really is honestly just a great run stuffer and just an overall good defender on the line in the D tackle position.
Yeah, they need D tackle. I would have gone Peter Woods there personally, but I get it, man.
Yeah,
Caden McDonald's a really good run defender. Not a great pass rusher, but that's not what you're drafting him for, and they need help in the run defense too. So I have Peter Woods DT1, but I like Caden McDonald a lot, so I think he definitely could be a pick somewhere in that range.
I can see Peter Woods. Yep, I like it.
All right, Buffalo. Man. Actually, no. I would take Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. I was thinking too hard about it. I'm taking Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. They need help at safety. They have Cole Bishop there, but other than that, they don't have much at safety. So I'll take Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. Really good player from Toledo. Another rocket in the first round of the draft, and I think it's like 3 Toledo players ever have gone in the first round, and one of them was his teammate in Quinyon Mitchell. So it's pretty cool to see what Toledo's done in that defensive backfield recently. So I'll go with him here to the Bills.
Rockets taking over the NFL. Love to see it. All right. Now, I'm up on the clock with the 49ers. There are 2 directions I could go here because it's obviously offensive line or defensive line. They truly need warm bodies on the defensive line, like in the edge position. But they also need kind of to set up the next wave of their offensive line behind Trent Williams, who I don't believe is getting – I know they're getting a deal done, but it's like I don't know. You don't know how much longer he's going to be there. I think I'm looking at the edge position here, specifically TJ Parker versus Cassius Howell. Now, I obviously liked Howell more during the season. I thought he had a better season, was more productive, 13 sacks, which was one of the highest in the NCAA. TJ Parker had a worse season, but I think he's going to go higher because Cassius Howell measured in with the smallest arms ever or something like that, the edge position. Like one of the smallest arms ever. TJ Parker did not have a good season. The 2024 tape was far better than the 2025 tape. However, Max, we've talked about this. All of the Clemson tape this year, take with a grain of salt. That team quit on each other. That team was not look at the 2024 tape for TJ Parker. I'm going him at the edge position here. I think a lot of the Clemson guys are going to fall because of the season they had, but it's almost one of those don't overthink it. I think these guys are all still talented in their own right and still going to be studs in the NFL.
Yeah, I Parker edge 3. I even think him having a bad year this past year I think he's still had a good year overall. I'm with you, man. I think 49ers need to add more to that defensive line right now. And Parker's a really good player. He's had 3 straight really good years, I thought. So I don't think Clemson's problems this past year had anything to do with TJ Parker, honestly. So I think I love the pick. And you're right with Howell. Second shortest arms ever, and the only one shorter is also in this draft in Caden Curry. So I think it's definitely a really smart move taking him over Howell right there for San Francisco.
All right, Houston Texans.
Yeah, I think here I have to just stop the slide for Peter Woods. I know they need a lot of help on the offensive line too, but they need help on the interior defensive line. And Peter Woods, another guy.
The back-to-back Clemson guys. These were top
Clemson
10
D-line.
Picks.
Yeah,
in August, these were 2 top 10 picks. See, I'm with you. I don't think they fell off that far.
I mean, maybe we get Cade Klubnik in the first round too, and this just keep the Clemson train going. But no, I'm with you, man. I mean, look, the top 2 players on the big board are also Clemson players right there, and Terrell and Blake Miller. So yeah, hell. But yeah, no, I think Peter Woods it's probably too far for him to fall. So I think it's probably a pick that Houston would be very happy with. And a D-line with Will Anderson Jr., Peter Woods is a pretty damn good one. So I think that's a really fun pick then for there.
I love it. Yeah. I am not as far off on the Clemson guys as a lot of the consensus. I think people are falling all the way off the board, and it's these guys are still good players, man.
Yeah.
You're digging too deep almost. All right. Chiefs back on the clock. So we obviously went Mansour Delane, which I'm pretty confident that'll be the Chiefs pick on draft night as long as something crazy doesn't happen. But I think they're going to go receiver here. And I think you should try to look at receiver to help with whenever Mahomes gets back. We don't know if that will be what time that'll be this season. I know you're a Denzel Boston guy. He's a little lower on my board than the rest, but I know Concepcion's more of a slot guy. He's played out wide too, but I think with what Mahomes needs, it kind of fits more than Concepcion. I would take Concepcion, but I feel like Boston will go higher than KC. And he kind of is the perfect Mahomes type of receiver. Big, 6'4", strong at the catch point. Had a phenomenal season. You're higher on Boston than I am, but what do you think of that pick overall?
I think it's the exact pick I would make too. I think you look at the receiver room with Rashee Rice, which we'll see with all his off-field issues.
Yeah.
And then Xavier Worthy and Tyquan Thornton, Concepcion to be a little redundant in that offense. They need a big-bodied receiver like Denzel Boston. I have Boston as probably a top 20 player. I haven't put together my board yet, but he'd probably be around that range for me. So I love the pick here for KC. I think this is a player that definitely could use in that offense.
There we go. All right, Miami, you are up now. We obviously took Caleb Downs, which was a phenomenal pick to fall to them. Are they double dipping in the second?
Good, man. I really was looking at it. I might. You know what? No, I'm gonna take Casey Concepcion. You look at their secondary and their receiver room is so bad.
It's
both
just
of
bare.
them.
It's just
It's
empty.
just awful. So we took Caleb Downs already. Avion Terrell is extremely tempting. Just to completely revamp it.
I was gonna take Terrell. I was gonna take Terrell here.
But also, like, you just signed Malik Willis to a contract. If you don't give him anyone to throw to, how do you know if he's a good quarterback or not? So,
yeah,
I think you just have to take a receiver. And trading away Jalen Waddle, I mean, now all of a sudden, like, is what Malik Washington's your number one receiver? It's crazy. Like, they're starting three receivers right now are Malik Washington, Jalen Tolbert, and Tutu Atwell. Like, that's one of the worst receiving cores I think I've seen it ever, honestly. So they need help.
Not great.
And Greg Dulcich is just starting tight end. Like, Malik Willis is in a tough spot next year as a starting quarterback. So
they're tanking for Arch, right?
That's probably what they're doing, honestly. And also, like, you need receivers for whoever your 2027 quarterback's going to be, too. So yeah, I think you have to take a receiver here. Even though Avion Terrell will be again fix a big need, but I just think you already took Caleb Downs. Let's address the offense and take Casey Concepcion here.
Yep. KC is a stud, man. We've watched him for a few years now. I mean, going back to NC State, if you weren't watching him, he's just an absolute beast. Dynamic threat. I love the pick. I definitely think that helps Malik Willis for sure. Okay, now Patriots back on the clock here, pick 31. Now, if Mitch Kaiser was drafting, I would have probably gone a receiver. I was actually going to look at Concepcion, and you took him. But we all know Drake May fan number one. I want his stats to be good. I want him to light it up through the air. I don't think they're as keen on just drafting a wide receiver at their first pick. They went and got Romeo Doubs, who he's fine. I don't think he's like a difference maker. But it sounds like Kyle Williams is set to take a step next year in that offense. So I'm not going to focus on receiver here. I think I'm going to look at edges. Cassius Howe would be my top pick, but like is he just out of the first round altogether?
No, I don't think so. And also, if any team has proven that they don't care about arm length, it's the Patriots with Will Campbell. Yeah. So I
think the production is too good.
I'm with you. I could see him go. I think he's at least going to go in the top 40. So I don't think this is out of the realm possibility at all. I think
I don't like any of the other edges left. So that's why, like a few months ago, before the measurements came out, like Howe probably would have been one of my like top 3 or 4 edge rushers, and now it's like I gotta reassess. But like I don't want him not in the first round altogether, I guess.
No, I don't. He might go early second round, but I mean, like I said, the Patriots have proven before they don't care about they don't really care that much about arm length thresholds or anything like that. So I'm with you. I think this is certainly a pick that could happen on draft night.
All right, that makes me feel more sane then. Last pick.
Right.
Where you going?
This is home run. Avion Terrell's the Seahawks.
Yeah, it had to be. I was going to not let you make any other picks.
Yeah, I was going to be like, he's going to go much higher than that.
You
probably
can't go running. It's too high for the Seattle to go running back.
No, and there's no. I mean, I like Emmanuel Pregnon a lot. I could take him there too, but Terrell is going to be a top 25 pick. I'll be surprised if he fell to 32, and if he does. Seattle, again, a really good roster. One of their few holes is that it's in their secondary, both safety and because Kobe Bryant left, and corner because Rick Woolen also left too. Great. Yeah, Devin Witherspoon is probably one of the best corners, if not the best in the league. But you got Josh Jobe on the other side. Avion Terrell is a natural fit as the next corner alongside Witherspoon.
Younger brother of AJ has it in his blood. So, no, yeah. I'm with you. I think Terrell is going to be a fantastic corner, just like his brother in the league. And the Clemson guy, I love getting the Clemson guys in the back end here, that first round. Could
have had Blake Miller, too, man. Blake Miller could have been a first rounder, too, honestly.
I thought about that with the Patriots, but they're not. I think they're going to keep the line as is and try to figure it out with what they have in the room. But I could see the Patriots adding a couple, like a tackle somewhere or a guard somewhere.
Was it Morgan Moses? I think that they're looking to like maybe replace him long term because he's not a long term answer.
He's old anyway. He's kind of just like
Blake Miller would have made sense too because he's a right tackle and because I'm with you. They're not going to move on from Will Campbell at left tackle for a while. They're going to be letting, and also he had a pretty good rookie year too. So. Blake Miller could be a pick there.
It's recency bias against the greatest defense we've ever seen. It's like people will never let that go. It's like, wow, well, he was actually pretty good as a rookie. It's like we only remember the last game, which was the Super Bowl. We know that, Max. Yeah. All right, man. Well, Max, appreciate you coming on. This was awesome. I really enjoyed this. Tell us where to watch you and Dalton's show at, and we'll get you out of here.
Yeah, appreciate it. If you want to check out the PFF College Football Show on YouTube, anywhere you get podcasts, you want to follow me at CFB Max Chadwick too.
Hell yeah. All right. Thanks for watching Mock Draft Monday. The point after with Mitch Kaiser. We'll be doing position rankings. I know I keep dragging my feet on those, but we're going to get in the cycle of 2 position groups per week up until the draft with a Mock Draft Monday episode up until draft night. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the point after with Mitch Kaiser, and have a great rest of your day.